Hey everyone, it's Army Gaming. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Monster Legends. We have another exciting video, very similar to where we go over the best monsters, the most used monsters in the game. This time we're going to go over the most used Doom talents in the game. So this is going to be exciting. Let's see what is popular. Let's see what is being used. By the way, huge shout out to Monster Legends Competitive Wiki for putting this together. I will put a link in the description if you want to join for yourself. Alright, let's see. Heyo, it's that time of the month again for another usage data blog. Unlike last time, attack and defense totals were managed to be gathered. That's awesome. The top part will be how many people out of the top 100 use that talent. The middle will be a description and some insight on the talent. And the bottom will be what the talent does for those that are unaware. That's really awesome. And special thanks to Army Gaming, that's me, and Lonely Tuna who gathered the raw data for me. I did not do any data gathering, so that's Lonely Tuna. Just a last word, A will stand for how many players. A will stand for how many players use a particular talent on their attack, so offense. And D will stand for defense, and will stand for how many use that on defense. Let's get into it. All right, so let us scroll down, starting things off with the heavies. I guess it's not the Doom talent specifically. It's the Doomsday PvP era, so that's why. All right, so Hidden Shiv is the most used talent, probably because of the Triple Nature team and Fruit Taster, I would imagine. So 28 for offense, 25 for defense. There's no A in here. Alright, Shiv coming in at number 1 again. Pretty great talent, packs a punch, can be put on everyone regardless of the role. Just a jack of all trades talent. After damaging with the skill, deals up to 90k points of metal damage. I love it. I use this for defense when I have a main defense team on my Fruit Taster. 28-25, so pretty balanced in terms of offense defense. Nanite Cloud, such a great talent, mainly used for slum and other supports. But generally great at making survivability rate higher. That is so true. When the turn starts of any, this is my favorite part, any ally's life, super useful in the rank up survival dungeon, by the way, too. If you have a monster that's on the verge of dying, just put a 3-speed monster holding Nanite Cloud, instant heal. So yeah, look at that amazing healing. And doubles the max life of everyone. Pain Distiller. Of course, Pain Distiller is going to be popular, and I think more so when we get 7 Sins into the game. I mean, it's already out, but I don't think as many players have it. Great at countering the torture meta, mainly used on pure Pandolf, a team torture removal without having to waste your already limited amount of nerves. Pretty obvious why it's used. Yeah, I mean, incredible, especially with the beasts as well. Phase Shield can be used with a life rune that make monsters insanely hard to take down. Can be used on anyone, to tanks, attackers, or anyone you want to protect. Yeah, I've seen Phase Shield on like rainbow build attacker monsters, triple strength attackers, and if you don't manage to kill them and it kicks in, man, you got to take away the positive for protection and the evasion. That is tough. And then if they hit you, they will hit you hard. So it's something to worry about. Like I've done it on defense with Grakshak. You sometimes see it on a Megaton monster. Another great one for the rank up survival dungeon. We have Snitch Brand. Can be used to buff your attacker. While Per and TD like Ryclops. Ryclops works extremely well with this too. His double Per is almost guaranteed. AoE vulnerable and guard down. In a nutshell, helps you deal more damage and land more effects. So I've used Snitch Brand with like Zol when I run the damage boost skill. What's cool about this is you are giving a damage boost to your whole team. You are applying vulnerable to the enemy, and you're doing guard down. It's a great setup skill. It's a great, or not even setup skill, it's a great setup talent. Now look at that, 40k points of fire damage. To be honest, it's 60k because the enemy has vulnerable when they take that fire damage. So that's great. We have Kill Streak. Alright, mainly uses attackers for extra damage and turns. Works wonders on Beambot and Grakshak. Yeah, I mean, I think I never have it equipped on anyone but Beambot. You do your strong AoE, you kill someone, or, not strong AoE. Well, I guess you could if it's a Megaton monster, right? Let's say it's a Dark Megaton monster, instant extra turn. But you pierce through, if there's a Megaton, if there's a Pengo, you pierce through, kill the main threat, get an extra turn, attack someone else, maybe play Shock to stop ET, maybe use Sunburn to reduce accuracy. I love it. The bad thing about this is that, oh look, it deals 100k of physical damage. I just realized my Beambot had always been below rank 5, so now it's going to be the 100k. The only thing I don't like about this, which I guess is a good and a bad thing, it only triggers when your attack kills the monster, not when Killstreak itself kills a monster. So it is what it is. Unlike Unrelenting Assault, so that one, if the residual damage, I believe, drops it below 50% one of the enemies, then you get your extra turn. But hey, it's still good. Soul Drag, I still use this, although it's definitely a lot easier to counter than it used to be. Basically, when someone dies, you're going to dish out to 500k damage on you. If it's an Earth monster that killed you, that's 750k damage. If it's a Dark monster, obviously 250. But yeah, this is a menacing. I like to put on defense just to chip away a coin from an enemy because sometimes it's unavoidable. You could also run this on your attacker. You can run this on the one that runs Revival Relic. A popular one I like to do is Lord Nabotis. I do a 2-strength Lord Nabotis and I'll give him Soul Drag. Now the enemy has to make the decision. Do they kill my Lord Nabotis, who's a strong attacker? If they do kill him, they got to make sure they survive a Soul Drag. But again, it's easy to counter now. Spirit Battery, someone that can revive, someone running Evasion. Especially with like Slumsters and Zols being able to apply Evasion left and right. But it's still good. And Unrelenting Assault. I mean, extra turn, extra turn, extra turn. And funny enough, it's still really powerful because who cares if there's a Shock Beast, right? Again, we have monsters like Slumster that just cleanse right away. We have Pain Distiller that cleanses right away. So Shock isn't that big of a threat. If there's an enemy anticipation monster, even that's not a threat, right? You have a Status Caster Megatons or a Pangoliath, a permanent Megatons. They're running life, runes. Even if the enemy gets ET, you're fine. So I still use it. I still use Pango, Stock Killer, and Zol for buffing. We have Bodyguard. I love this one as well. Really interesting talent, mostly used on MTs, Fruit Taster, and Slumster, oddly. Its damaging element is great too. So I started running mine on Slumster. The reason it works so well with Slumster, and it would honestly work with any dodge area monster, is the fact that you have dodge area and you're giving Mega Taunt to a dodge area monster. So now the enemy, and again, you always face the AI. If the enemy does an AoE against your monster, well, your newly acquired Megaton monster will absorb it, but you also have dodge area, so the AoE deals no damage. So the only damage you're going to take is single target attacks. So it is fantastic. Not to mention, it deals 220k points of physical damage if you have a rank 5 Slumster, and all the top 100s have a rank 5 Slumster. So yeah, I love it. I love it. I've only ever used it on Slumster, never had to use it on anyone else. Not to mention, on your Slumster, you can then evasion yourself, positive fake protection yourself as well. Yeah, this is a great talent. Ancient Cloak. So I recently started using this more. So you get a 3-turn anticipation, which is very, very scary. The new talent that gives anticipation to the wearer, extremely powerful. As of now, it's being used mainly on Lord Inheritor and Teddy Bomb, although it might not hold up with Spirit Destiny existing, and it's prayer that goes through everything. I really do feel that SP is going to fix that. I think it's too powerful the way it is now. But we'll see. Maybe it's just oversight on their part. I don't know if it should be going through everything. But going back to Ancient Cloak, I remember when Lord Inheritor came out, I made a comment to like, I don't think he's going to be as meta. He's missing, like, it comes down to the trait. He has a good enough trait, but what made Lord Nabotis stand out was anticipation traits. And because Lord Inheritor doesn't have that, I didn't think he'd be as popular. But with the increase of, again, the Beast, Torches being meta, having immune to Torture helps him out. But then with the addition of Ancient Cloak, it's like, oh man, stack an Ancient Cloak on Lord Inheritor. Now he has immune to Torture and he has anticipation. He is a threat. But yeah, now it can be cleansed away rather easily. And if an enemy is controlled, it also deals 60 points of magic damage. I honestly forget that exists. It's mostly the anticipation that's important. Mud Body, again, I love this. I love this so much. Very annoying to UA attackers and the like. Yeah. So if a monster is going to hit you when you have Mud Body on, you get hit with Quicksand, and you get hit with a lot of earth damage, 100k earth damage. It has 3 uses as well. Burn Blood is, oh my gosh, it's incredible. It's free. Anyone can use it. What I love about these kinds of talents, the Hidden Shivs, the Burning Hands, the Burnt Bloods, it's percentage. So it doesn't matter if you have a level 110 monster that uses this against the enemy. It takes away a percentage once the dot lands. But there's also why monsters that are immune to torture are very powerful. Alright, Adrenaline Injector. This recovers stamina and increases your strength. I mean, it makes total sense why it's used. Let's see. Tactical. This is another stamina regen. So, yeah, I've been saying this for a lot. Stamina regen stamina draining skills are not powerful because relics and talents can recover stamina like no tomorrow. Smite is trait disable. The best way to use this really is to trait disable and then deny, which might be coming back, who knows. And Xiao Long really does use his best. Ignorance is bliss. Counters is Pangoliath. Yeah, Pango, unfortunately. If only this could be used twice, you'd be able to do Forgotten, trait disable, and then trait disable again. But, yeah, that is Smite. You can also do Spec, 3-speed Spec, Smite with Pierce, and then everyone gets trait disabled. Sin Eater, I like this a lot. Basically, if you have a dot, it cleanses everything on yourself. So again, because every single game starts off with a beast, you know you can always cleanse, especially if you're going up against, let's say you're still facing Xiao Long, and you have Learn About This, and Xiao Long did Ignorance is Bliss and got rid of your evasion, absolute 0 to you. So now you're Mega Frozen, but you have a dot on you, but then you're running Sin Eater, so then you cleanse that effect, the Mega Freeze is gone, and then you can attack. So super useful. Health Gene. So for those that don't use Face Shield or maybe have 2 different monsters to use, they can be using the Health Gene. Look at that, 150k healing. After being hit, if you're below 50, that's when it triggers and applies increased healing. Watch out for reverse healing, absolute 0. Man, this used to be like top tier. Now it has definitely fallen a lot, at least in the top. Demon Wings. It's basically a very, very weak UA just because you need to be below 50% to use. Works well with Hydrorian and Essence users. Activation makes it niche. Yeah, again, you got to be below 50% HP. I think the one monster that could probably use it with more control is the almighty Barbatos, because you can purposely drop his life below 50% to trigger, and then, you know, you can Cane Sword to heal and that kind of stuff, but it's really hard to use. Hydrorian has a good chance of using it. Yeah, it's just a really hard one. Purgatory, I love it. Photophobic Shield, and then lots of heal. Med Pack, Static Shock, we can kind of go through some of these. This one applies Shock, so I can counter. This one is Anti-Freeze for your whole team. Status Caster, Spirit Battery, counter Soul Drag, yeah, so if the monster dies, they can heal. Kevlar Vest for dealing damage. Crystal Form, Scale Mirror. There's also actually a Doom talent that can Scale Mirror. Ah, here it is, Hollow Mirror. So I've also used this on my Lord Inheritor when he's running 2 strengths because he can really dish out damage. This one increases your strength. I actually don't see much of a use to use this when you have other talents that are way better, I would say. Burning Hand still being used a little frequency. I don't know why you would use this when Hidden Shiv exists. Like, Shield Break, but you 3 uses versus 2. Devil's Fruit, when the turn starts, if the ally is dead, applies double healing and then heals. I guess this could potentially be a good, what is it, rank up survival dungeon, and then you res maybe with a Viziel. Wool Coat, Banishing Touch, 2-turn death countdown. There was a chance when you couldn't cleanse that, or even if you cleanse it on the 2nd turn, I think you would die, but it's not as powerful anyway. Like, I almost never see it run. If I do see it run, it's like not even a threat. Hood Justice is mere damage, and then you have a Bark Hide, Decay, Armor, Pacifier Instance. I think that one's like a Stamina Drain. Dampening Field, Street Disc, Spirit Sword, Curse of Despair, and Last Hope. This one I actually use on Rank Up Survival Dungeon for healing. And yeah, guys, these are the most used talents in the game. Are you surprised with any of them? What influence do you think Seven Sins and Spirit of Destiny are going to do? Do you think those 2 are going to jump up to the top? Because I personally think so. Are they going to beat Hidden Shiv? I doubt it. 28 and 25, that is hard to beat. I think Fruit Taster is always going to be a top monster. Nanite Cloud is also probably going to be top as long as Slumster's up there, Poseidonea's up there. So I think it won't outpace these 2. It'll probably break into the top 5, or definitely like in the top 7, I think. We'll see. We'll see. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comments below. Again, huge shout out to Monster Legends Competitive Wiki for putting this together. And with that being said, guys, remember to subscribe.